Greetings, dear friends. We continue to tell you about the preparation for the first Antares International Film Festival. In this issue of the Film Festival Diary, we begin to introduce you not only to the members of the jury of the film festival, but also to the participants of our large-scale film project. I want to remind our viewers that the Antares Film Festival will be held this summer from June 25 to June 30 in the resort city of Sochi, which is so beloved by all of us. Sochi was not chosen by chance, because one of the first directors to open Sochi to the world of the cinema screen was the master of silent cinema, Evgeny Bauer. Ironically, they started making movies here at the same time as Hollywood. Now such an analogy seems a little naive, but 100 years ago everything was different. Dramas, tragedies and comedies were filmed in Sochi to the envy of Hollywood directors. Hatavich the Genie, Amphibian Man, Wild Dog Dingo, Diamond Hand. We all grew up on these films. Today the city hosts not only film crews, but also guests of favorite events, including our Antares Film Festival. In addition, I remind you that on February the 1st we started accepting applications for participation, which will end on May the 10th. You can always find more detailed information on the official website of antares.film. Moreover, we begin our film festival diary. You are watching the diaries of the Antares Film Festival. Our broadcast today was graced by the chairman of the jury of the Antares Film Festival, People's Artist of Russia, Elena Tsyplakova. I'm very glad to see you in our studio. A lot of work is beginning, a lot of work is ahead, including, of course, our esteemed jury under your leadership, under your very creative control. My first question to you is, as the chairman of jury, what do you expect from the project? Are you worried? Of course. Well, any festival is an acquaintance, sometimes with some new directors, with new films. It's always very interesting, because when you work a lot, you don't really travel somewhere to watch, and the festivals always gives you the opportunity to see the best products that the jury select, preparing the festival. It is always very interesting, and there are always some new acquaintances and wonderful places where the festival will take place. The most important thing is that a lot of people will see these films, because as far as I know, the festival will be held in 15 cities. That's the most wonderful thing. Yes, well, I think that in Sochi we will have a film festival at several city venues. In addition, a huge number of people, viewers, connoisseurs of cinema, will see these films. Well, it's very important. I've just been on the jury at the festival in different cities many times, and I've seen how many people enjoy going to this screening, because, of course, everyone has television at home, everyone has computers, but still, cinema is the magic of it. It's a big screen, and moreover, even just for energy, when a huge hall is sitting and everyone's watching. That's you are in a completely different space than when you watch it on television at home. I agree with you. Indeed, that's probably why all the halls of the film festivals are always full of spectators. This is, of course, pleasant, especially since I would like to remind all of our viewers that the viewing of all our competitive works during the film festival will be free. Admission will be open. In general, it's wonderful, because there are a lot of people, let's say elderly people, who don't have such large pensions. They can't pay very much for a ticket, but they want to watch a movie. They will pay with their applause. Of course, we are very happy about this. Tell me, please, Elena Tsyplakova, how do you personally plan to evaluate the work, and what criteria are important for our current cinema, important for our audience? Well, in case the quality of the filming, the script, because this is also very important, the work of actors, artists. It's no coincidence that there are all these nominations when the rest of the participants in the filming process are awarded, because it is very important how it was filmed, with whom it was filmed, where it was filmed. If it is something similar to the place where people live, for them is like, in case I believe that cinema is an indirect life experience of people. So for me, the main theme in the script is always very important, what it gives to a person. You know, I read a wonderful interview with Antonova, the president of the Pushkin Museum. She said the following phrase, when he says, I'm watching something, I want to be loaded with a higher meaning. I want to go away and think about it. I want it to give me something, because I can say something too. Therefore, of course, I want serious, deep meanings to be embedded. He is a different Russian viewer. This is my generation. I've been around for many years, and I remember how he always watched what the movies were about, what was shown there, because it is clear to me that movies should be different and entertaining and serious and deep. I'm interested in deep cinema because even in some entertaining pictures there can be some deep, serious meanings, some kind of educational moment, reflections on the meaning of life, people's relationships. Dostoevsky wrote that sometimes he says the little things of life are as important to us as serious events. So I want a movie of any genre to be all the same with deep meanings, seriousness, beautiful, which will fill a person with some additional information so that he thinks about it, doesn't go away and forget it, but so that it remains in his memory, so that you might want to review it. This is also important and very important for young people, because in any case it is an experience that they will perceive, and it remains in their subconscious for everything they see. You're right. I completely support your point of view. It's very close to me too. I will share insider information with you. Today, more than 400 applications have already been submitted to our film festival. This is a large amount of films that the inspectors are actively examining now, putting their preliminary ones in order to transfer them to the jury members for the most final selection. Tell me please, all these participants, all these applicants, they of course dream of one thing, to win the film festival. It's a competition. It's such a sporting creative interest, very healthy and very correct, I think. So, what fate awaits our winners?
Так вот, какая же судьба ждет наших победителей?
Well, I think the most important thing for the former is recognition. It affects their creative destiny, because he will already have a victory at the film festival with his biography. Plus everything. In addition, here is such a wonderful one. The stunning statuette is wonderful. I really like it. It's very aesthetic, very beautiful, very deep in meaning, because the octagonal star is generally a symbol of the seal of the living God, and it's very religious, its ornaments. It's very interesting. I didn't expect to see one like this. And most important, there will be an echo of the festival. 15 cities will see these films for every director and every actor, their films, which will always be shown and honored. Maybe at this festival, and the authors will come to these cities to perform and show. It's always a pleasure, because the echo of the festival works great. I know many festivals that are expected everywhere. Wonderful. We will go this way too. Tell me please, which is more difficult in the end, to judge or to participate in film festivals? Everyone is pleased to participate, because it's a meeting with the audience, screenings, communication, new friends and new acquaintances. But I want to tell you that when I work as a chairman of a jury at many festivals, I say, we don't judge, we celebrate the best. It's a very good position. Because judging, you know, it's like, don't judge, so you won't be judged. We are not judges. We are the same audience as the audience in the hall. But we still have the responsibility to select the best. Mark them so that people understand. That is a very important moment when an attitude is developed towards what they see. That is if we note that this is the best, then it is still enters the viewer's consciousness at some important information. Yes, that's why for me it's such a very important moment when we are trying to celebrate, because very often there are situations when there are several films, so they are already the best ones, but how to choose and mark one of them, so it can be very difficult. And sometimes it is decided either by majority of votes, or we just sit and everybody argues why he likes this or that film more than the other, because very good films are selected and it is necessary to make a decision. One prize or two prizes. Therefore, there are different situations. It depends on which film, but always in general, the final decision is made, because we are obliged. This is our job. Well, with their decision, the jury of the film festival is still eventually forms the taste, forms the vector of cinema development, because young cinematographers and all cinematographers are guided by the winners of film festival in the production and tasks of their films. Moreover, they study because there are production designers, there are cameramen, there are makeup artists, there are costume designers. There is also a definite sign for them that this is good. Of course, this is very important. Here I was at the university with the guys on the course, and I told them, look, there are festivals, men of labor, safe work is our concern. Your brain is also where it was. Do your term papers. They can get to the festival. They will be seen in different cities. This is fate, guys. It's very interesting, and it should be especially interesting for our filmmakers. And Sochi and the sea attracts even more attention. Thank you very much, Irina Oktyabrievna. So, such warm conversation and for your attention. I wish you all the best in our upcoming big projects, in our film festival. And of course, see you in Sochi. See you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. And we continue the diary of the Antares Film Festival. We continue to introduce you to the cuisine of Antares. Alexandra Zhukova, the program director of the Antares International Film Festival, is next to me. Please tell our viewers what a program director is, because this is such mysterious position, but it seems to me very important and interesting. Please tell us about what you are doing directly. The program director of the festival is a person who starts from the origins of the festival. They participate in the formation of the concept and how all this will be, and is engaged in the program of the festival. That is, they watches a large number of films and select what the audience will see as a result of the jury. On the other hand, this work is very interesting. On the other hand, it is ungrateful, because it sometimes goes wrong when the course of all the bigwigs go there. So you yourself are watching the huge number of films that are announced for the film festival. At the Antares Festival, we agreed that there would be some kind of pre-selection. That is, a long list would be compiled, and I would inspect a small volume than usual. For example, I have been working for several years at the Amur Autumn Festival in the Far East, and there we have Russian premieres and a full-length competition and a short film. I watched about 600 short films before the festival to choose 24, and among the full-meters about 100 to choose only 20. Don't you get bored of all this? It is easy to watch a movie by your own will, or are you forcing it? Well, there is even a joke among my friends and family when there are some big festivals. And they say, let's go to a movie somewhere. And I say, please no. Only to a theater or somewhere in a museum. That is, I very rarely go straight to, at normal times, but to some kind of thundering films that must be watched and known. And as far as I understand, by the nature of your work, you interact with a huge number of people, and each of them need to be given specific attention. Tell me, how difficult is it? How do you manage it? When you need to knock out the premieres, because there are several several festivals in our country where the priming screening. Then you have to negotiate with the producers, explain why our festivals are higher, better, more significant. You just need to communicate a lot with various producers, directors, in order for them to send their applications and want to participate in festivals that our team conducts. I can say it's very easy, but it is still such a necessary aspect of the job. In addition, organizationally, passports and deadlines for all these, there are my colleagues' assistants who do this, who have already agreed on everything. It's good that you are not alone in such a difficult case. Alexandra, what do you expect from the Antares Festival? Well, I would like it to become such a really international festival with some kind of its own face, concept, so that it attracts a large number of film professionals. This morning I corresponded with the cinematographers from Kyrgyzstan who are to be included in the full-length jury of the festival. Yesterday we agreed with the director and producer Gushta Devasyan, who heads the short film festival in Yerevan, to join the short film jury of the Antares Festival. And it seemed to me that such bridges, if they were formed, it would be very cool, because the short film festival in Yerevan, which has been taking place for several years, and Antares, all this together becomes such a cultural dialogue and a space for cooperation. Dear friends, we continue our diary of the Antares Film Festival. In our studio, Anton Koryakin is a participant in the competitive selection of the Antares Film Festival. You submitted your short film Beskudnikovka to our film festival and attached to it such an interesting description. If it is possible for our viewers, I will read it out. Sure. Sergei, a young man of about 35, lives alone in Moscow in an apartment bought with a mortgage on the outskirts of the capital. Olga, with whom Sergei once had a relationship, and her daughter Katya, 12 years old, are staying at his house overnight. They came from the province and the next day they fly to live abroad. Olga's new fiancé lives there. Sergei and Olga look at their own lives and the world around them in completely different ways. He believes that nothing around needs to be changed. She is looking for a better life for herself and for her child. In the context of this conversation, our selection committee selected films, and one of the films they watched was, of course, your film. Can you tell us a little bit about the idea for this film and how did it came to you? What is its relevance today, in your opinion?
В чем ее актуальность на сегодняшний день, как вы считаете?
Well, this is due to my acquaintance with the writer Vladimir Kozlov, who wrote this story, based on which I made this film. This is a long-standing story. I had his book at home called Thugs. At that time, the life of the urban outskirts of the late 80s was not yet a mainstream. But after reading it, I realized that this was a movie that I would like to make. At that time, I was just thinking about making a movie, but then I was playing in a band, and it turned out that he was also in it, and so by chance one might say met. He also doing movies. In general, it is a long story really, but the point is that I realized that for the debut, for a short matter, I just want to choose some kind of a story. Therefore, I literally stumbled upon this story and realized that this is exactly what I needed. What is the relevance of this story today? Relevance? There is not just one point of relevance. But first of all, this is what is called, I didn't invent this word, the atomization of our society. That is the disunity of people. Here they have contradictions. They are axes, but they look in completely different directions. They have different views on the world. That is, he believes that nothing needs to be changed, but she is in some kind of turmoil all the time. And this is very important. There is a dialogue there that is, there is somewhere to run or not where to run. I even added a little bit from myself. Is there a future for our world or not? Here, philosophical questions began to arise by themselves. And then, of course, there is also the problem of choice, especially for Olga, to stay or go. This is also a little relevant now. The main point of relevance is again disunity. Well, if our selectors and our selection committee decide to include your film in the competition program, of course, we will be happy, probably just like you. And, of course, I will be happy too. Tell our viewers in a nutshell, how do you made the decision to participate in our film festival? Where did you learn about it? And what hopes do you have for this participation? As I found out, this is, of course, quite banal. And I found out on the website with the festival catalog. I was interested in the fact that an important issue at the festival is the problem of the common man. It would seem that it is not even clear what profession my hero is, but he is a simple man and he lives a simple life, survives, and this is really a problem. He has a choice or no choices, if there is a future for him or not. That is why I was interested in the festival. And for the hopes, well, first of all, I want to show my work to as many viewers and professionals in the field of cinema as possible. And as for the participation itself, I would like to immerse myself in the circle and communication of professionals and other cinematographers. Wonderful. We wish you and your film good luck. Thank you for coming to us today. I hope to see you again. Yeah, see you soon. Thanks. And we continue our film festival diary. Well, the next issue of our diaries has ended. Together with you, we have taken another small steps towards our common holiday, the Antares International Film Festival, which starts very soon in Sochi. Thanks. Thanks to everybody who was with us today. See you again at the Sochi Film Festival site. All the best to you.